Hello, this is Lydia at Homespun Quilts, and I'm going to shed a little bit of light on the Can You See Me bag. Right now I have layered my charm square and I've sewn my Sasquatch to it, and I also have the batting on there. So now we're going to add the vinyl. I'm just lining this up, and to make the sewing easier, make the vinyl slip a little easier under the presser foot, just use the tissue paper that's in there, or find a piece of typing paper. Anything like that will work. I know this is really exciting to watch. You see how this just sliding under just like fabric. Okay, so that's one piece. And I can just tear this off. Sorry about the video. We'll get the other piece off in a minute. And open this up. And you don't want to press this with heat because it will melt. Just going to finger press this a little bit to kind of cover the edge of that batting over there. Line it up. Some tissue paper. And you do want the vinyl up because the tissue paper will help it slide under the foot control. But if you have it down, it's going to stick on the bed of the machine and it's going to be really hard. Because vinyl will stick to pretty much everything. So you can see when I'm pushing this, it just sticks. Okay, give me a minute while I take out this tissue paper. I'm going to add the backing piece next. And of course, when you're in a hurry, nothing goes quickly. Okay, there's one side. Right, where is the tissue paper? I tend to talk fairly quietly, so you'll probably have to turn up your volume to hear what I'm saying. Okay, tissue paper, come on. Okay, so to add the backing piece, you want both of your vinyl pieces into the center. And you don't want to pin the vinyl either because it will make holes in it. Here's my backing piece. It's going to go face down over the vinyl. Because the vinyl is covered with the fabric, this will also slide under very easily. The trick is to not get the other piece of vinyl caught in the seam. There's one side. And I'll just kind of push that, make sure my vinyl isn't in there. And I'd probably use, if you have a built-in walking foot, I would use that because it'll keep the fabric from stretching as much. Or lowering your foot pressure will also help. Okay, so I have to adjust the camera a little bit so you can see this. So forgive the seasickness you're going to experience. Add this in somewhat. Okay. So now I've got the vinyl and it's inside. And I just want to flip this right side out. Oh, did I? There we go. So I want to flip this right side out. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but okay. So there's one, there's two. And now I'm going to, I think I'm just going to tip the camera a little bit. I'm going to top stitch down both sides. I'm going to do it fairly close to the edge. This will just help keep the piece from warping too much. You could also wait to do the outline stitch on the Sasquatch so it goes through all 3 layers. You can see my vinyl is getting stuck, so I'm just going to pick it up. And it's still there. All right. So there's that. Now I've prepped a couple of the other pieces. I just have to figure out what I did with them. Okay. Here's the piece that's going to go up on top. You're going to sew the backing and the front piece together and press it open. And then insert the piece of batting. And it doesn't really matter if it goes on top of the seam or under the seam, just so it covers. Mess around with this, excuse me, a little bit. Make sure we've got it on. And I think I am going to put it underneath the seam. Seems to be resting up at the top easier when I fold this fabric over. Okay, you can see I have a little bit extra left over here. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just want to match my corners here. And then sew this right sides together so it flips up. And actually I'm going to turn this over so the vinyl's on top. And because I have that little bit of extra batting right there, I'm going to line up my vinyl with the edge of the fabric. And what happened to my tissue paper? No matter which way you do this, it's going to be hard to stitch. And I can see the edge of my fabric through the tissue, so I know where to sew. Break that piece off, put it over here. Again, lining up the vinyl with the edge of the fabric. Okay. We're going to do the same with the other piece. And let's see, I'm going to bring this over here for a minute, so I'm going to move